Hi, my name is Denise Glover, and if you're watching this video, then it's probably because you're a novelist like I am, who's struggling to find new readers for their books. The fact is that the marketplace is now so glutted with fiction that it's very difficult for new readers to find my books. So I decided to come up with a way, a quite revolutionary way of finding those new readers for my books. And I wanted to do it for other writers as well. So let me run down a few of my credentials so you can see that I'm actually worth listening to. I am an award-winning author. I am an Amazon best-selling author. And I have over 30 indie-published novels to my credit. That's one side. The other side is that I spent my career analysing and deconstructing literature, first at university as an English major, and then as an English high school teacher, and later as a film and media and English communication college lecturer. So when I asked authors who were interested in joining me to send me short story extracts from their novels, I felt a little bit like an IT programmer faced with people who have never used a computer. What seemed pretty basic to me wasn't necessarily the case for others. Authors don't usually learn to write by deconstructing literature. They learn to write by reading and writing, something I wish someone had told me way back when. This short video is designed to help you identify the short story gems inside the larger canvas of your novel. And the stories I want to promote are the ones that ignite readers' interest. A flashpoint is the moment a fire ignites. In a story, it's the scenes where your novel gets really interesting, probably because it's a turning point of some kind. In a romance, that might be the moment the hero and heroine first meet, either as strangers across a crowded room or as combatants if the characters are strong. A good novel could probably be plotted this way, with a series of peak moments, flashpoint moments, turning points that build to the final climax. This leaves a reader satisfied and the tension is released. But quite often those peaks can be seen as possible short stories inside the novel. So let's look at what makes up a short story, other than its length, of course. Like every good story, a short story has a beginning where we find out about our protagonist, environment, and his conflict. In the middle, we explore this conflict. And in the end, there's some kind of resolution, not as resolved as at the end of a novel, but satisfying anyway. Think about episodes within a TV series like Mentalist. The series' overarching storyline might be about a serial killer and the man who's hunting that killer. But each episode has its own mystery and its own murder to solve, which adds to the bigger picture. So that's what we're doing. The bottom line, the reader must feel as if by the end of your short story, it is a satisfying whole. Now let's look at some of the basics of short story writing, which might help you to fine-tune your search. A short story usually has one protagonist, and we see the action through his eyes. Usually a protagonist is already aware of his needs, and the conflict around getting those needs met. A good story always has conflict. The last basic requirement is that the events of the story happen over a short space of time, and usually in one setting. Maybe it might be as long as a day, or as little as a few minutes. But what we're not doing here is writing a summary of the novel. So let's look at an example. This is my most popular novel. It's a historical romance set in ancient Rome. In a sentence, it's the story of a young noblewoman helped by a slave gladiator to run for her life across the empire. There are dozens of short stories in the making inside this one novel. But let's take that first flashpoint. The novel starts with a young male slave, furious because of the demeaning actions of his mistress. And he is walking through Peristylium. He sees his mistress' son bullying and abusing one of the daughters of the house, and he steps in. That's it. So how does that fit the bill for the short story formula? First of all, it's seen only from the slave's point of view. He has heaps of conflict that the reader gets a taste of very quickly. Then he gets caught in an even bigger conflict. He's a slave, he has no right to intervene in a situation he sees, but he also likes the girl, and he hates to see her hurt. What does he do? Does he risk punishment, or does he walk away? And this is how we find the sense of this character, because of course he plays hero, and this is a characteristic that he has throughout the novel. But even if the reader never reads the rest of the book, they will feel satisfied by the ending of this short story. So if you're interested in taking part in this exciting experiment, then why not look through your novels and see if you can find a short story that ignites the reader's interest, satisfies them with a sense of completion, and yet leaves them wanting to know more about your character's journey. And if you want to know more about Flashpoint Finds, or run an extract by me to see if it works, just email me at info@flashpointfindsauthors.com.